Hey there, friends. It's your Bad Couch Guru, Lynn Limberg, again. And today I have a very, very special guest. You have heard me talk about him before, but he doesn't know this. And it is Benjamin Hardy, the author of Willpower Doesn't Work. So you guys know I am not a fan of grit for exercise. And when Ben's book came out that said Willpower Doesn't Work in 2018, just before my book came out, I was so excited because I was like, yay, here's someone who's preaching the same story. So, Benjamin Hardy, welcome to the Couch to Active podcast.
Thank you. Excited to be with you.
Yay. So Ben, we've only got a quick 5-minute format here. So can you take your whole Willpower Doesn't Work book and cram it into just a couple minutes of how it can help our listeners today be more motivated to get their exercise done that they want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
these folks aren't necessarily going to the gym. I mean, some of them are literally taking sword fencing and dancing and all kinds of weird, wacky things. So keep that in mind.
Yes.
Go for it, Ben.
I will share a few thoughts on willpower in the next 3 minutes.
All right.
So I'll start with a quote. This is a quote from the Harvard business professor, Clayton Christensen, who's no longer around, but his quote was that 100% is easier than 98%. And the idea behind this is that if you make a decision, then you know what you're going to do. So as an example, if you tell yourself you're going to go to the gym, as an example, and you know what the outcome is going to be. I like diet even better. Like if you've committed to a diet, it could be anything, no sugar, etc. The difference between being 100%, 98% is mountains. Because if you're only 98% committed, you actually don't know what's going to happen in every situation. Every situation, you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what the decision's going to be. You're leaving the decision to every situation rather than having made the decision beforehand, because you already just said, I'm 100% doing this thing. And I know that 100% can seem a little scary, but it's so good for your mental health when it comes to certain decisions. And so what happens for most people, if you're 98% committed, it means that when you're in a situation, you've got to go through a mental tug of war. Do I do it in the situation? Do I exercise, or do I eat, or do I get up this time with the alarm? And that mental tug of war is what we call decision fatigue in psychology. Decision fatigue is where you're wavering back and forth. You're not really sure if you're going to do it or not. You haven't fully decided. And in such situations, the situation usually wins. That's kind of the core finding in psychology: is situations win. Situation beats willpower almost every time, especially if you're undecided. And so the opposite of decision fatigue is making a decision. And the great part about making decisions is that you don't have to think about it anymore. Michael Jordan actually said, once I made a decision, I never had to think about it again. And that's really nice. It's nice to not have to think about going to the gym again. It's nice to not have to think, and so I would say
that's like a dream come true.
Yeah, so that's the first step. And so you got decision, but then the second element is design. How do you design situations to make that easy? How do you outsource your motivation to situations so that you don't have to think about it anymore? I think there's easy ways to do that. I think that one is to obviously invest in that decision. Invest in a gym membership. I know that's maybe not even strong enough. Invest in a workout partner or a personal trainer. Like investing in a goal creates a lot of commitment. Having a social group, social accountability, social, posting pictures socially of yourself and saying what you're going to do. I don't know if I'm probably past time, but I'll just share one last thought. Telling people what you're going to do and making that as public as possible. I think that those are some things to remove willpower. I mean, those things then just put all the pressure, it's great.
Yeah. And they're huge. And I tell a story about how I had a goal to walk 2016 miles in the year 2016. And
I love that.
Yeah, it was great. And I was pretty sure I would fail. And I committed to
You did it though, right?
I did, because I put my ego on the line. Yeah. And I went really public with it, and I made it with 5 hours to spare. But
I think public is so big.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the superpowers, is telling people what you're going to do and making your story of who you are your future, what you're going to do, like saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do. I think that not enough people are honest enough about what they want and then make it radically public.
Yeah.
I think we shield ourselves from either failure or from scrutiny. And I think it becomes powerful when you just become more public about what you want.
Yeah. And you realize the support's really there when you weren't sure it was. Yeah. Ben, I just so appreciate you coming onto the podcast, even though it was really short. If folks want to find you, where would you like me to send them first?
Just benjaminhardy.com is totally fine. They can find blog posts. They can learn about books there. And there's plenty of resources. And they can read Willpower Doesn't Work if they'd like.
Yes.
It seems like it's in support of what you agree with.
Oh, I have read the book and it's completely in support. So I was pretty darn excited about that. Okay, folks, benjaminhardy.com. And Ben, I've got to have you on the podcast again soon because I hear you have another book coming out and I want to hear about that when it comes. So thank you very much. All right, bye-bye.
See you.
Exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch is the hardest thing we do. And so, Couch to Active has an all-new website to match our all-new world we live in now. Head over to couchtoactive.com and finish step number 1 today. Did you know that Couch to Active has an app? It's the easiest way to keep track of and follow the Couch to Active podcast. So head on over to your app store, and it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone, a tablet, or an Android device. Search for Couch to Active, that's T-O Active. Download the app and check it out. Bye-bye now.